Most fitness advice for women is bullshit. As someone who is 270 pounds and has lost over 110 pounds, and someone who's coached thousands of middle-aged women to lose their first 20 pounds and keep it off, I understand what exercises help women hit their goals and which ones don't. That's why in this video, I'm going to break down 7 common exercises that are hurting you and what to do instead. Bringing me to exercise number 1. Box jumps. I think box jumps kind of came in with the CrossFit craze. I even competed in a fitness competition where one of the events was how fast you could do 50 box jumps. I won, by the way. Skinned my knees too. And even though I've done them and you see people doing them, there's a reason we don't recommend them and we don't program them for our clients. If you're someone who already has a hard time doing a step up or going upstairs, how good of an idea do you think it's going to be to jump to a box repeatedly? And then there's the added factor, if you're overweight, every pound is like 4 pounds on your knees when you're going upstairs. Think about that with impact jumping onto a box. Box jumps were also something that was programmed into group workouts back in my in-person trainer days, but the programming was done by the franchise, not by me. And if box jumps are something you see people doing in a group workout class and it strays you away from that because you're afraid, good. Stay away. I would much rather you build your confidence in the gym, because that's one of the things that holds so many women back from making the progress that they want to. They're not comfortable in the gym. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to set up a barbell. They don't know how to use the machines. They don't know what to do with free weights. And so a group fitness class kind of seems like an easy sell at that point, but generally you're doing random workouts and getting random results. So what can you do instead? Well, if I were doing your program, I would program step-ups for you, or ways to improve your ankle and knee stability while going through a range of motion with some weight on it so that you have the resistance to build muscle. But if you're not confident in the gym, it might be hard to do. So when you're doing your step-ups or your squats, if you don't know what to do or how to set up, or you're uncomfortable at all, well, you can come join our coaching community and we can help you, or ask somebody at the gym. It's literally their job. They work at the gym. And so just ask, hey, can you show me how to use this? Or there's other people that are going to the gym too that would probably be happy to help you out. I know I would. So no to box jumps, do step-ups or squats instead. Start with body weight, and when you get the range of motion and you feel comfortable, add some weight. Bringing me to exercise 2 that everyone loves to hate, burpees. I too love to hate them, and I too competed in a fitness competition where sandbag burpees were one of the events. You had to do a burpee and then clean and press a 15-pound sandbag over your head, I think for 15 in a row. And while burpees might feel like the ultimate fat-burning exercise because you end up dripping with sweat and you can't breathe, they're really not a good idea. The sweat isn't telling the same story that you think it's telling, and for most overweight women, this shouldn't even be in your program. Back to my in-person training days when the franchise did the programming, guess what I didn't let the overweight clients do? Burpees. Think about jumping down to your belly and the impact on your wrists when you're down there. And then you got to try and get back up again, stand up and jump. What is that even doing for you? Often I see in a group fitness training class, that's just like, let's get people sweaty so they feel good and they want to come back and they feel like they're, burning calories, burning fat and making progress. When sweat and how sore you are the next day from doing something random that you haven't done in a long time, it's not a good measure of that was a good workout. And often you're putting yourself at risk for injury. There's no way that I would have let some of those people be doing burpees. And so instead, we did things like push-ups to a box in a controlled manner, or just go down to the ground and get back up again, because that's something that we have to do in life as humans, but we don't have to do it as fast as we can, slamming down onto our wrists. Make it make sense. Bring me to exercise number 3 that doesn't make sense. Russian twists. Oh, but they're so great for my core stability. I mean, they might be. Russian twists show up in almost every ab circuit I've seen, and most women have no idea how much their spine actually hates this. And the faster the class moves, the worse it gets. And sometimes you don't even have the right equipment there because it's just, oh yeah, let's put out a 50-pound ball and a 5-pound ball. When in life are you sitting on your butt and picking something up over here and putting it over there? If you do often, I'd like to know, put it in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to go with not often. I was trying to even think about picking up a kid or something, but like you wouldn't pick them up from over here and put them over there. And if you're doing this or any of these exercises in a timed setting, you're probably not doing it focusing on form. You're probably going as fast as you can to get the most bang for your buck out of the workout. And then there's like oh, that person's lifting more than me, or this one's going faster, and you try to keep up when really you should just stay in your lane. Not that I've done that or anything. But won't Russian twists give me six-pack abs? No, they would help strengthen your core if you were doing it in a controlled manner, but there's better exercises that you can do that I'll tell you about. But your body fat percentage is what is going to dictate if you have abs or not, as well as your genetics somewhat too. So really something you can think about whenever you're doing an exercise is like, what is the functional outcome of this? Because picking something up over here and putting it over there and picking it up over here and putting it over there isn't all that functional to me. But if I was standing upright using a cable machine and doing something like a controlled cable core rotation, where I'm going from here over to there under control, the load is in line, and think about, I don't know, maybe you're cooking and you're moving a big slow cooker from here to over there. That makes more sense to me. It's more functional. It builds functional strength where you get the most bang for your buck instead of doing random workouts or arm days, because you will get much better results if you focus on compound lifts and progressive overload and time under tension and things like that versus I need an arm day because I want my arms to be toned. And if you have no idea where to start in putting a program together or what exercises you should be doing, if you go over to Instagram and DM me the word strong, I'll send you over our 3-day split workout program that's going to give you a solid foundation of where to start. And if you don't want our 3-day split, that's cool too, but don't come crying later. Actually, I'd still help you even if you came crying later or not crying. But here's one exercise that makes me cry when I see people prioritizing it. Exercise 4 is running. Running often gets treated as like the gold standard for fat loss. And for a lot of middle-aged women, it's actually working against the goal in a couple different ways. And for some reason, people think that they need to do it. So if you enjoy running, good on you. Keep in mind, if you're overweight, for every pound you're overweight, it's 4 more pounds of impact on your joints. Something to consider. Maybe just walking first and bringing the weight down, if you actually want to run, would be a better idea. But I don't think that it's a lot of people enjoy it. I think it's that they think that it's what they need to do in order to lose fat, and it isn't. Women think that getting sweaty is like the best thing to burn fat. And while yes, if you can maintain running, you will be burning calories during that time. But there's also a couple factors that come into play. When you stop running, you stop expending the energy and the calorie burn stops. After you run, sometimes you're more hungry and you're more likely to eat more, or you get the mind fuckery of, oh, I went for a run today. I can have that cookie. I burned so many calories. Here's the other thing that comes in. The calories that it said you burnt on your device, whatever it is, your Oura Ring, your Apple Watch, Fitbit, they're not accurate. Often they're overestimated by a large percentage. It might be relevant, like if you go for a 30-minute run today and a 30-minute run tomorrow, and it says today you burnt 300 calories and tomorrow it says you burnt 400, you definitely burn more calories the second day. 100 more? Probably not. And who's ever hit 10,000 steps in a day and been like, I deserve a cookie. That walk was so great. I burned so many calories. If you have, also, I'd love to know in the comments. But increasing your movement throughout the day and getting your step count up is going to be a much more sustainable way for you to hit your goals. Not to mention, walking helps with your digestion and blood sugar regulation, whereas running makes you hungrier and makes you think you deserve a treat. And the craziest thing I see that enforces this belief in me that people think they need to do cardio for fat loss is when we have a client come in and their step count is around 2,000 to 3,000 steps a day. So like that's pretty sedentary. And then they're asking how much cardio they need to do. Well, my cardio for you is to schedule in a 30-minute walk in the day. Or maybe you can put 2 15s in to start. After you eat, preferably, it's going to help with your digestion and blood sugar regulation. Go with a friend outside in the sun, vitamin D, and community, all very beneficial. And then if you incorporate resistance training, you will build muscle on your body, which muscle on your body will burn calories around the clock for you instead of just the calories that you burn while you're doing the thing being running. And if I was going to recommend cardio for you, it would definitely be rowing, not running. Anyone can row. It's low impact. And there's a little bit of resistance in there too, as well as the cardio capacity. But that won't increase my steps, and I can't look at my phone. Good. If you're trying to lose weight, get toned, be healthier, you will never out-cardio a shitty diet. All right, enough about running. You guys get the point. Going over to exercise 5, dips. they're coming for me. They know I was talking shit about running. Dips get pushed as a way to get rid of your bat wings or your bingo arms, your triceps essentially, to tone your triceps. But there's two joints that are taking the brunt of the load when you're doing this, and neither one of them is built for the job. Dips are not something you would ever see in our programs for overweight women. Think about the stress going onto your wrist as it's cocked backwards, and your shoulder, which probably already has pain and poor mobility from living life. And now you're putting all of that body weight onto your wrist and into your shoulder joint in an effort to tone your bat wings. Sounds like a recipe for disaster. Your wrists are small and they're not designed to support that much body weight at that angle, and your shoulders are at a disadvantage the entire movement. There are much better ways to train whatever it is that you're trying to train in that, whether it's your triceps, your shoulders, your chest. There's a much better way to train them than to put yourself in a compromised position and risk injury, hurting your wrists, which wrists are pretty important. We use them on the daily for the majority of things that we do. Something like a dumbbell kickback, or you could do overhead cable extensions, you could do press downs, you could even do push-ups, because yes, your body weight is going onto your wrist, but you could do them to an elevated surface, which is putting more of your body weight on your feet on the floor. And it's not such a weird place to have your wrist. Like, it's supported and it's underneath you, stacked joints coming down instead of stacked joints behind you with a bent elbow. And if you're trying to get the shoulder benefit, you could do lateral raises, you can do front raises, you can do rear delt flies. If you're trying to train chest, you could just do a dumbbell bench press. Plenty of things that you can do that don't risk injury, which is going to set you further back. All right, on to exercise 6, battle ropes. You ever see someone doing that? They look so cool, like they're heading off to war, to battle. Get it? No? Okay, cool. But yeah, what are you doing? It's some cardio, yeah, and it might be fun, but is that how is that helping you in life in general? Again, going back to is this functional? What's the point of this? What is the ideal outcome of this exercise? If it's just for fun, sure, have at her. A little competition. I used to do that with women in the gym. They'd do battle ropes and see who could do it longer or try to set a new record or whatever, just for the funsies of it. It wasn't like we're going to do this to burn calories or build strength. It was like building camaraderie and community and having a good time. So they liked me and they came back. But you're just moving weight of a rope, for what? It's not going to be enough tension on your muscles to build strength all that much. It's going to get your heart rate up and elevate that. So if you want to do some cardio that way, have at her. But otherwise, you're pretty much wasting your time. And if you want to lose weight in a sustainable way, taking that time and focusing it on some resistance training is going to give you a much better outcome, because you'll be able to put muscle on or keep your muscle, and your muscle is worth its weight in Dyson hair dryers as you age, because it literally burns calories existing on your body. So if you end up losing muscle or not having muscle, you're going to have a lower metabolism, which means you can eat less, which means I would be sad. What should you do instead of battle ropes? Well, anything. I guess, why are you doing them? If it's for cardio, there's more effective ways of doing cardio. I would suggest rowing personally. And if it's just for funsies, then you keep doing it for funsies. Bring me to exercise 7, crunches or sit-ups on the floor. Crunches are the first thing women think of when they want a flatter stomach. Oh, I'm just gonna crunch my way to a 6-pack. No. You won't. Most women think that crunches will get rid of their belly fat, but it's really just bad for your back. And if you're looking at as far as just calorie burn, a set of squats or deadlift, any compound lift, is going to give you way more output than doing crunches laying on the floor and getting up with a bad back. Now, if you're trying to build core strength and stability, that's your desired outcome, not trying to crunch your way to a 6-pack. There's better ways to do that. Those cable core rotations I talked about before. You can also do pal-off presses while you're there. You could do dead bugs. You could do a plank. You could do hanging leg raises. There's lots of stuff that you could do to build the stability of your core. Compound lifts also do. If you're doing squats and deadlifts and bracing your core properly, those will also increase your core strength and stability, which helps prevent have a bad back instead of giving you a bad back. So there it is, 7 exercises you will never see programmed from me in a program. You might now be like,
well, now next thing I'm even more confused, because that 20-year-old influencer told me that I should be doing crunches and box jumps.
So if our 3-day split program wasn't enough and you want some help getting results and getting the body that you actually want that functions for you, like our clients do, there's an application below. And if you're not quite there yet and you just want to know how to train legs, you can watch this video next with the only 8 exercises you need to train your legs.